Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead, Red.
Dope. Homework along. And the key word in this course is accelerator, right? For people who may be unfamiliar with an accelerator is, you have incubators and then you have accelerators, right? We chose to be right on time in 2025. We kind of had a little bit of foresight and we knew that 2025 was going to be an accelerator year and whatnot. If you pay attention to how AI is moving, it's not moving at an incubator pace, it's moving at an accelerator pace. The years of 2023 leading up to 2025 was literally the incubators phase of AI. So if you were getting your certifications, if you were skilling up and whatnot, if you were reading up on it, if you were just certifying yourself and getting stacked up, that was your incubator phase. Now we're in the golden age of hiring, right? They're talking about firing, but we also are in the golden age of AI talent hiring, where people are literally getting hired for 300, 200, 150, K a year. And then you have people raising money to the tune of billions of dollars based off of the fact that they incubated for a while and then they put that shit to work. And now they're in this acceleration where the fiscal year opened up with the president of the United States of America speaking about a $500 billion investment in AI. How do we join the Saturday Zoom? Venus wants to know.
I'll send it. I'll open it. I'll send it to Red, or Red, if you want me to drop it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can send it to Red. Red to send it out in the email.
Okay.
If you catch Red, I wouldn't say DM Red. I'll just send it to him. He might be busy.
I'll put the link.
He might jump in and get in too, but I'll have the link ready on my side. You can hit me on the DM and make sure you show me your receipt. I mean, I know quite a few of y'all say, "Spin, I'm ready for Saturday class." I mean, people that hear this are only going to know to hit me for Saturday class. So, just do that if you want to.
So, you see this background?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we're gonna start
at right there, boy. Look at him. I should tie it up right now.
Right. We're gonna start today's class number 1 just with a demonstration. I want to qualify myself. I was going to show this at the end of my presentation, but I figured why not show this at the beginning of the presentation, because what we want to establish right out the gate is that, we're not just, hair club members, but we're also the president, which means that we're also, doing the same thing that everybody else will be doing in this next 4 weeks, where we're actually applying the information. We're not just teaching it, we're also applying it. We're building in real time as well. I've found my niche, and I'm going to take that niche and I'm going to build that niche out and whatnot. I'll do it in front of this student body, and hopefully we could work together and find ways to help each other out in that process, right? I don't know everything. Resources are always appreciated. Other people who are out there in our ecosystem who have resources, they have skill sets and whatnot. This is why we do these demonstrations, to show and prove, that we're working and whatnot. This is not done to kind of intimidate anyone or to showboat or anything. This is just to show like we're working. And let me move forward. Yeah, okay. So when I say that I found a niche, right? Being that Know the Ledge over the course of the years has, we've been like a what's the word? A vanguard for the master teachers. You know what I mean? I speak about them passionately. My archives of our radio show is filled with these master teachers that we had the privilege of interviewing and, getting stamped, coming into this community back in the days. early 2000s and whatnot. So nothing warms my heart more than to, continue to put their visuals and their quote unquote likeness and their names in the minds and the hearts of people who may forget about them. And no, I can't know, at the end of the day, if they're forgotten, it's the job of the promoters to put their names and their faces in front of the people, because when they were alive, that was our job. And when they're gone, that should be our job times 10. Okay. The worst thing that we could do is to forget our master teachers, our elders, especially, but definitely our master teachers, only because the majority of their teachings and their lessons are living out right now as we live. So we would be very egregious to carry on in life and just be like, yo, I can't wait for Brother Rich to bring this new teacher on board to tell us everything that the master teachers already told us. Like, no, I'm not waiting for new people to come around and regurgitate what I've already heard. I want to pay homage to the people who said this shit 30 years ago, when it wasn't the internet, when it wasn't a quote unquote AI, when it wasn't, TikTok and whatnot. I'm paying homage to the source. So it warms my heart to have this is a passion project of mine. This covers all bases for the fantasy complex industry. What better way to get a grip of this industry, but with the quote unquote conscious community, right? And the master teachers and the master students as well, because they will also be lionized. They won't be forgotten. The newer generation, they're also going to have toys of them. Okay. So, the youth, the children will be able to play with them. Their children could play with them. They could pass it down to their grandchildren. How many people, I mean, y'all might not realize it or not, but I've been in many situations where the grandchildren of some of these great people don't even recognize them as great teachers. They only know them as the grandparent. Like, man, that's what I'm saying? That's go-go. What the fuck? That Doctor Who? No, nigga, that's go-go. You know what I mean? No. That's a great person, even though that's your grandparent or your parent and whatnot. That is a great person who has done great things. At the end of the day, don't try to throw them away or minimize them. That's one of my pet peeves. I don't like to see when the children of some of these great people downplay them. I've seen it too much for it to be considered, happenstance. You know, they throwing away all of the you know what I mean? They fighting over the estate. They throwing away the books, the recordings. You know what I'm saying? The shit is crazy. Anyway, KTL alumni, right? We paying homage to the KTL alumni. We call them the master teachers, right? And my goal is to not just, I'm not really aiming at people who know who they are. I'm more so aiming at the people who don't know who they are, who never heard about them a day in their life, who wouldn't even give them the time of day if they was not presented to them in the form of entertainment, right? So we have this collection here, right? So on a fantasy complex industry totem pole, toys, as you can see, toys, they serve many purposes, right? As a youth coming up, my first interaction with the fantasy industry or fantasy complex industry happened to be through cartoons and then toys and whatnot. I was enamored by toys. I was an avid toy collector. I love ripping open the box and whatnot. I used to collect G.I. Joes, He-Mans, Transformers, Thundercats, you name it. I had a whole toy box filled up with these figures and whatnot. Then as I got older and got into, metaphysics and things of that nature, spirituality and the occult, I understood the significance of toys on a spiritual level, on an adult level. Okay. And that meant altar work and whatnot. So these toys have a double purpose. They serve a double purpose, especially for those in the community who are tapped in and whatnot. These are for your altar. These are for your collectibles, right? Because we live in a day and a time where we have to bring value back to our community. We can't wait for nobody to give us any value. Our valuation should be given to us by us. All right. Our valuation, what we, our contribution to our culture, right? What is Dr. Sabi's valuation? What is Dr. Delbert Blair's valuation? Dr. Africa, Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett. What's the valuation? Mama Pill. Like, what is their value? Okay, that hasn't been established. So we are going to run evaluation of them after we establish who they are in the hearts and the minds of the people and whatnot. Okay, so here are these toys. Now, mind you, these toys were prompted using AI. These are not toys per se. These are not the finished prototype of a toy. This is what is called a concept. But if anybody knows anything about creativity and creation and whatnot, everything starts with a concept. Concept art. That's all you need is a concept. An idea turns into a concept. And that's why we are here tonight. And that's why we'll be together for 4 weeks, because the technology has advanced to the degree to whereas you could capture an idea like lightning in a bottle, take that idea, flesh out that concept, take that concept and go all the way into production in a matter of maybe 1 day, 24 hours, if you move fast enough, or you can stretch it out. But here's the House of Consciousness line, huh?
Get that done pretty quick, almost way below. I can get that done in 10 hours. You going hard?
Yeah. 3D printing machine.
Man, what?
Yeah, you get them files and whatnot. You can knock out an idea and turn it into a straight up a prototype that you hold it in your hands in a few hours. Okay. Now, with all of this stuff about tariffs going on and imports, and Americans are beginning to see how much of a customer they are to the global markets and whatnot, the conversation about manufacturing in America and bringing manufacturing back to America, that conversation is getting louder by the day. It's not loud at the moment because a pair of Nikes don't cost $400 yet. Right. But I would encourage everybody who has the opportunity to buy as many machines that you can, buy as much manufacturing equipment as you can while you can. Okay, because you still got to make things, and you don't have, and as you can see, you can't always depend on China or India or Pakistan to do the making for you. We could do this shit right here. Okay, so this is going to be a toy line, right? This will turn into a comic book series. This is going to be animated.
Teachers teaching, the ancestors watching, the devil spit the block, but the star seeds got the drop. Talk back to me.
Ain't nobody had it in him, huh? Yeah, ain't no Bobby had it in him, huh? But yeah, lo and behold, huh?
They said, all right now, we're going.
All right now, y'all all right now?
Crazy, really been
imagine the Bobby Hemmett talking doll, right? Imagine the Bobby Hemmett with a push button on the back, but he has the API of ChatGPT that has a knowledge base of a lot of Bobby Hemmett stuff already embedded or embodied in him, right? So we're in that era now to whereas consecrated dolls and whatnot, small figurines could actually have a knowledge base, and you could press a button and they'll drop knowledge on you. So not only could the children be playing with the toys and whatnot, they could be getting the wisdom. Not only could the adults be playing with the toys and whatnot, they could be getting the wisdom. Imagine talking to a Bobby toy or action figure about some real deep shit, and he's able to give you real answers from Bobby's brain, from a Bobby perspective, from a Bobby knowledge base, a Bobby Hemmett knowledge base. Imagine conversating with a Dr. Sabi doll, and the Dr. Sabi doll will give you the ingredients to cook an alkaline meal and whatnot. This is where we're going in the fantasy industry complex. So imagine us giving the quote unquote, imagine us waiting for no disrespect to anybody in the audience who is of Israeli Zionist background, but imagine us waiting for the Zionists to go ahead and do this for us. Imagine us waiting for the Boule to go ahead and give us these things. No, we are taking these in our own hand. We're doing the work right now. We're going to lionize and we're going to immortalize the people who mean something to us right now without asking anybody's permission, y'all. You know, I will give you the breakdown on the 3D machine. As a matter of fact, one of the special guests for this 4-week endeavor that we'll be on will be a 3D printer, okay, who has multiple machines. And I'm going to be bringing that brother on to give us a little bit of insight, okay? But these are on their way. These are in quote unquote prototype. They're in prototype as we speak. But as we go through the 4-week course, inshallah, we will see the prototype in my hands. You're going to see the production of this whole line and whatnot in real time. Okay, this is what I'm showing you. This is why I'm showing it to you. And this is how we'll be moving. Are there any drop shipping companies that do 3D models? Yes. Yes. Didn't the Jews hijack the Dr. Sabi LA operation? The Mexicans, I believe. But, you know, who knows if they have their hands in it, right? So, yeah, here we go with these toy figures. Okay, so then, boom. Not only do we have the toys or the quote unquote plastic toys and whatnot, or what they call the action figures, but we're also going to move into the plushie collection. All right. This is still part of the fantasy complex industry, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I'm just giving you my example of what I'll be working on and whatnot. But I'm highly encouraging everybody in the building to do something yourselves. You know, so the Master Teachers Plushie Collection. Can you see it?
Yeah, that's it. This that heat. I was telling some people earlier. I was on a live earlier, bro. Just talking, and
okay. I pulled up on you. I didn't know.
Spin City plushie, and I'm like, now this is the one that y'all can get into even faster because you don't have, like you said, you don't have to print up the plastic action figure where you can actually just get the cloth and then do the stuffing maybe yourself and get these things off on the pre-order because the pre-order is literally that right there.
Yep.
What we're showing you on here is exactly, you know, like you said, concept art. Here's the Master Teacher's Plushie Collection. Y'all ready to order something right now. And that give him time to, you know, build it out, get all the cotton together, get the stuffing in, do his AI thing. So now you get, you know, you can go so deep with blockchain connection because you own this plushie. Now you're able to go to this course, and it's an AI course built by Dr.
Like an NFT, right?
Yeah,
so
and it's an
plushies.
Right. NFT. Exactly.
The plushies will be, this is what I'm showing you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is transmedia, which is how to tell a story across multiple media platforms. Transmedia. So you could go from comic to video game to animation, right? That's transmedia. From toy to comic to video game. Thundercats, transmedium, Transformers, transmedium. G.I. Joe, transmedium. It went from toy, it went from comic to toy to video game to movie, right? They created a universe and they spread it across multiple mediums. Okay. So Jay said he had the NFT comic connection. That's dope. Let's plug that connection into the machine and see where it takes us. Right. So yes, a real life token, a real life asset tokenization. Yes, right. So we will have QR codes on the plushies, and they will access you to an NFT, and you will also get access to a metaverse, or rather a netaverse, where these ancestors and these master teachers digital assets will live. Okay. But like the good brother Spence said, this is the first move that we'll be making, will be the plushies, and then we're gonna go into the action figures. The steps that it takes to make an action figure by making molds and whatnot, it is not easy, even to the degree of the type of plastic that you have to use and whatnot. Very intricate. Okay. So that is going to be a project, even though it's a passion project, it's going to be a project, but we'll go with the plushies at first. Okay. And we're also going to have a liquidity pool. There will be a liquidity pool. Right. I didn't even tell Spen that he became
You're crazy.
We're definitely going to have a liquidity pool where we will collect a percentage of all sales, which will go into building out an institution for our master teachers and whatnot. So their brand, everything will be able to be preserved. As you can see, we got the 44 tops, we got the master teachers, we got the fantasy complex. Yeah, right. Speaking about the 44 tops, and here's the cartoon, right? The master race. So we have the master teachers in a master race, right? This is for the youth. Okay. As you can see, it's in a comic book form, which will also be translated into like a cartoon form. We will make these we will make this move throughout the class. We'll put this through runway, we'll put this through the AI, and you'll actually see this animated. Okay. But the master race is exactly what it is. It's the master race. What better way to introduce the master teachers to the youth than through the medium of comic books? What better way to get concepts? That's what they're doing right now with Disney Plus, and they're doing that with Disney with your children, Nickelodeon. They are putting their children as the face of magic. They're making their children the face of magic, esoteric magic. They're making their children a face of metaphysics, right? They're making their children a face of technology through the cartoons, right? What is it? Henry Danger, iRobot, iCarly, a whole bunch of things that these children are watching that are indoctrinating them into them seeing Europeans as all powerful, mystical, and magical. And then when we do it, it's voodoo and it's bad. Nah, F that. Time to interject the master teachers into the conversation and change the narrative. Right? Time to bring them in and change the narrative. These are not spooky people, as you can see. They're not scary. They're not controversial, right? They're cartoons.
Exactly.
So we are taking our personas, right? Red and blue pill, and then doing what? Transmedia, spreading it across the media. Why? Why not? Because there are more demographics that you can reach that way. There are people they'll know about the 44 tops and they won't know anything about Blog Talk Radio. They might not know anything about YouTube. They might not know anything about Harlem and 125th Street. All they know is, yo, I like that song from the 44 Tops. That video was fire. That's like the Gorillas, and they got a toy line. You see how you could take one brand and stretch that brand and create multiple assets for that brand to make that brand, it just increases the chances of that brand to become more successful. All right. And let's not talk about in the eyes of investors either. But this is literally in our hands right now. This was not the case when I was doing the lecture for the fantasy complex industry. The first one, by a show of hands, who has not seen Fantasy Complex Industry, the original one? Okay. I made sure that everybody that was ticket holders had access to the first one. If you don't have access to it, please put your email in the chat so we can get that to you. Okay. Or for that matter, you know what? Don't even worry about it, because when the replay is available, you'll have access to it. You'll have access to it via the KTL University when we have the replay for this class. But yeah, drop your emails. But yeah, check this out once again. So here's animation. We went into the comics. Let's go into a little bit of animation.
Leave your cousin too, sipping on cold water, dropping gems, making food.
So this right here, this is another level of the transmedia, and this is called augmented reality, right? This is a little bit ahead of the times and whatnot. Okay. Similar to what Nipsey was doing.
You want your socks? Troy, yeah.
Please mute your phone. Similar to what Nipsey was doing with the Marathon clothing store when he had smart tags on his clothes. So we have smart tags on our clothing that activates something called augmented reality, right? And the augmented reality, through your phone and whatnot, you basically can see you'll be able to see in 3D, right, the artwork pop out of your phone. Okay. And they also have it available for like VR glasses and things like that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but this is the VR version of our smart KTL smart t-shirts. So not only will you get a Dr. Ben t-shirt, but you'll be able to scan a QR code inside of the Ankh, and it will give you a Dr. Ben lecture.
Gil, let me say it this way, and I don't support system, but I think that one of the things we have to learn in order for me, I hope I'm speaking to two gentlemen, and this is for parents, our parents. You can't fight the teacher and learn. There's a discipline in study, and we have to learn. The damage has been done to us and still being done, but we ourselves got to take this. With all the bad things that go in the classroom, and I went through it, you got to be able to count, you got to be able to write, you know what I mean? You got to know science, you got to be able to equate and evaluate. And you can't fight the teacher doing it. Parents can't come down to fight the teacher. Bad teacher, get them out of the neighborhood. We have to go through the principle of educating ourselves. And our parents got to do it. I'm sure your parents did it and other parents did it. There is a discipline we got to go back to. And I've said that the basic thing we have to do is to stop letting the damage, what he's talking about, to continue by saying, I'm not going to the classroom because they're going to say this. You don't have, when you go to the classroom, you have racism. Don't care which.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll get into that for the course.
He been going hard, boy.
So this is
drama,
a proto.
Let's go. Let's go. Turn this up right here.
This is a prototype, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the finished version. Shout out to Lico TV. My dude, like I said, I got a team and we working. But this is Hydra. Me and Spin were dealing with Hydra like a week or two ago, and Spin was showing me things that he was doing with Hydra. So this is gonna get better throughout time. But like I said, this is the initial. This is the storyboarding phase of our music video. But yeah.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the legend.
It's my guy right there. He gotta move around a little bit more.
You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our plans. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts.
Yeah, my guy right there. You know what I mean? This is just the initial. Yeah, this is the beginning of it.
Anthem on the track.
So, and this is taking once again a 2D art piece, right? This started out in 2D. Where's the artwork? Right? 2D. It was flat, right? I drew these pictures in the 90s, y'all. This is artwork from the 90s, and I ran it through the AI and I brought it to life. I don't know if people know what that meant for me. You know what I'm saying? Only those who are close to me know how much this means to me. I've been waiting I stayed alive to see this day, bro. You feel me? I stayed alive to see this day, to see shit like this come true, huh?
In your lifetime too. I know you're feeling this, man.
Come on now, man. I hung on so I could see this day. I don't think they understand this shit. But I brought my artwork to life. Once again, this is gonna be an animated series. I turned it into merch already. You feel me? I'm launching music by using the artwork. I don't even have to rap anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let these niggas do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I was saying the other day, we need to give the game to the youth. Well, here's the youth right here. I'm gonna let them do it. And once again, I'm not promoting violence. This is a story of the grimy 90s. I'm giving y'all nostalgia. You know what I'm talking about? And of course, it has a moral to it. It's a hero's journey. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is some of the artwork that I brought to life using the tools that are available. I couldn't do this 2 years ago when I did Fantasy Complex. I wanted to show people some shit. I didn't have the tools to do it. I didn't have the access and the resources to do it. I was trying to learn Blender. I was trying to learn what was the other one? 4D, Cinema 4D. You know, there was learning curves that I didn't get around.
Live from the land of snakes, with the same nigga playing your weight, wanna give your hands a shake. Bitch, we got bands to make, rubber bands to break, guns and butter, that land on lake. Got bread, got plans to break the Brooklyn way. When Tony killed Manolo, had to look away. It's a war going on, starting to look like yay.
Apparel worn is battle torn, thou shalt not kill. When diamonds is dancing, spending time in the Hamptons, building shrines in these mansions. Dance from the tropic of Cancer, the topic is Tantra. Heavy breathing on top of the mantras, throwing balance with mandalas encrypted. Kabbalah of the scriptures, fuck Twitter, only follow the mystics, the dons, to put hollow in the biscuits. Across from the Apollo is the district. I'm in the Nile Valley, Crocodile Valley. The nays Maurice, the greatest story. The haters boring with the poor me pity parties. Got the porta potties for the shit you kicking. The reaction at its best was knee jerk. You could put your debut on a t-shirt. Niggas co-signing fuckery. These suckers be acting 3/5 of a man. Co-signing Mike Huckabee. On the low like how the bucket be. Luckily, none of these niggas ever fuck with me. Fuckabee. My prospect is design. My mind is akashically designed. A prophet of the times. My pockets is aligned with property from shrines. My grind is monopoly, my mind with prophecy in mind. I'm in a hideaway, wide awake, listening to chants of roosters. Align with the mind of Mansa Musa, enhance the future. Wars of the Manson future. Dabbing in Dubai, we dance the future. With a time to be a scorpion, Kevorkian. To those who don't share the sentiments, death to all you simpletons.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah, man. I was just
Man, come
a
on.
commercial I did for the 4/4 event that we did. That really opened up my eyes to this art stuff. Like I thought I went out there and saw what AA brought back from Japan.
Bloody Mary.
I went into Richmond, into the art
Bloody Mary.
district. Huh?
I think there was a little action from Measy.
Yeah. So here's a little bit of movement from these. This is Runway ML on 2D pictures and whatnot. So that's the visual presentation. And then here goes the clothes, right? That's the merch. So we took it into a merch. There's the poster, right? The poster on the left. So this is transmedia. This is how I'm taking one asset across multiple medias and whatnot. So I'm monetizing it by creating merch now. So one thing is the video, right? I took the video and I made a commercial. That wasn't just a commercial to make a song. That was to push an event that turned out to be very successful and whatnot. And so I'm using it for marketing. You know what I mean? Now I'm using it for merch and whatnot. I'm merching it. Okay. And these sold out. That went great. Right. There goes the merch for the master teachers and whatnot. You feel me? So fully transmedia through the fantasy complex industry, being able to take IP and being able to take ideas and being able to, just stand on top of some shit and do what needs to be done. I'm gonna get into this other presentation if you don't mind, and then
Yeah, so I would say I got a question that's kind of like for the class. So all in all, from uploading the drawing from the 90s to putting it on a t-shirt and selling a t-shirt, how much time was in between?
Yo, that's crazy that you asked me that, Spin, because literally it was yesterday that I said, damn, yo, you somebody might say that that's a flex, but it took me 20 plus. It's more than 25 years, fam. It took me more than 25 years to take an artwork and put it on a shirt.
And then you got the AI unlock. So so boom, 25 plus years. Y'all listen to that. Now with the AI unlock, how long was it between idea and income?
Oh, when the idea hit me, I went and did the prototype. We could give it 48 hours. We could give it 48 hours. That is a fact. So just
Tell y'all.
right. Like, let's just keep it a buck, y'all. 30 years of looking at this artwork, right? Of staring at this artwork and not knowing what to do with it. Don't mind me. This is just, it's not safe for work. But I'm just saying, 30 years of looking at this artwork and not knowing, and not doing nothing with it. Of course, I was doing things with it, but I wasn't taking it that serious. Like, I was not enterprising. I wasn't putting this on shirts. You feel me? I wasn't putting this on clothing and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I wasn't making posters of it. Look at this poster that I got, bro. Like, I got big ass posters now. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are going in frames, bro. I was selling posters in Richmond.
Yeah. Posters
I'm
off the AI printer.
Huh?
So you saying you got some posters off the AI printer?
Look.
Oh yeah. He going crazy.
I got you, Spit. I'm gonna send you one.
Oh yeah. Give me that ASAP.
Big boy.
Man, that's going on backdrop. That's the one. Yep.
Matter of fact,
man, what?
I don't know how we could all meet up, but I would love to have all of the damn students sign one. Shit, I put that thing in the frame.
Man,
we might have a meetup, y'all, in Thailand or some shit later on, after we all get our bread up by mastering this AI shit. We might have a meetup in Thailand, and I'm gonna bring the poster with me so we could all sign it. You feel me?
We gonna do one in Atlanta. We gonna surprise them. I'm gonna hit you on the back end. We gonna surprise the students with a live joint.
That is a fact.
I ain't been outside, and I've been seeing y'all homies. Y'all been going outside, Yeah,
we've been
and
moving
it's time for big Sinatra. You feel me to get around this, get around. So yeah, this summer.
Right.
Crazy. Spin red, blue.
Did you say Big Sinatra?
Yeah. Always been Frank Sinatra. That's why I even named my AI Sinatra AI.
Oh, okay.
I was like a pretty boy, handsome boy when I was.
I see it. That Big Sinatra.
You feel me? So I go by the Sinatra. You know what I'm saying? Spin Sinatra. It's all good, but it's time to come outside.
Yeah, it's definitely time to come outside. So we gonna be doing something live very soon. If there are any questions from the presentation, no, hold that, and I'm gonna get into this presentation, and then we can ask questions after that before we get into spin segment. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, is my picture in the picture as well?
It's not in it, bro. You're up. Well, especially how I got it. You're still on the panel, but it's standalone by itself.
All right. So Fantasy Complex Industry Reloaded Workshop. This is a little I'm gonna be reading a lot, y'all. This is text heavy and whatnot. But yeah, this PDF I will upload into the portal at KTL University, so everybody has access to it. I can't upload it on the Discord. The file is too big. So I will be uploading it to the KTL University where the replay lives and whatnot. Y'all have access to it. Yeah. So a comprehensive Fantasy Complex Industry Reloaded Workshop, a comprehensive 4-week intensive designed for creators exploring cultural integration in their art. Master cutting edge AI tools like Midjourney, Runway ML, and GPT 4.0 to build profitable IPs, which means intellectual property, that respectfully blend cultural elements across multiple media formats, right? I am keeping in mind that a majority of us that are on the call, that are students and whatnot, we tapped into the culture. So the approach that we'll be taking in this quote unquote workshop will be dealing with the culture. right? We'll be dealing with it from a cultural perspective. We're not just going to approach this from a bland perspective. We're going to paint it with the lens of Afrofuturism and things of that nature, that's going to be able to feed all of us that are a part of the culture. You know what I mean? It's not a one size fits all type of thing, but it's a broad approach to it. This hands-on workshop goes beyond theory, guiding you through the complete process of researching. Let me stop. Let me go back. This hands-on workshop goes beyond theory, guiding you through the complete process of researching cultural contexts, developing authentic narratives, and creating compelling visuals that honor source traditions while expressing your unique creative vision. Each week focuses on a different aspect of cultural integration, combining expert-led sessions with practical exercises and personalized feedback. You'll leave with a portfolio of completed projects, technical skills in AI-assisted creation, and a deep understanding of ethical considerations and cross-cultural creative work. Now, I opened up this course by showing my portfolio.
To the family, love and light, peace, love and light. To the family.